Your time now is 12:11, and we come out of the break with some breaking news. The Maine Fire Marshal's Office and multiple fire departments are responding to what Waldo County Dispatch is calling a mass casualty incident following an explosion and massive fire at a lumber mill. To be clear, a mass casualty incident does not mean that anyone is dead. It simply means that there are believed to be more potential patients than the local department can handle. According to our sister station WMTW, about a dozen firefighters at the scene may be injured. The situation is still developing. We'll be sure to have more information as it comes into our newsroom. Turning to a live look now on Capitol Hill, where senators unanimously approved a resolution to withhold their own pay during government shutdowns. It comes after a string of record-breaking impasses over the last year. Under the resolution, senators' pay would be withheld by the Secretary of the Senate during a shutdown that would be retroactively paid once the government reopens. It will take effect the day after the general election on November 3rd. Well, President Trump is beginning the day with a new round of talks with China President Xi Jinping. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the two countries found common ground on the war in Iran, though President Trump will not be asking for help in ending that conflict. The president also announced a trade deal that he says will firm up American jobs. NBC's Alice Barr has those details.
President Trump given a ceremonial send-off from China this morning to cap a summit mixing pageantry and thorny politics.
We've made some fantastic trade deals, great for both countries. He's a man I respect greatly, become really a friend.
The president praising Chinese leader Xi Jinping, and while there's no sign of a breakthrough on a comprehensive trade deal, he suggested Boeing would sell China 200 jets.
It was sort of like a statement, but I think it was a commitment.
And teased potential business with other American CEOs who joined the trip.
One thing I think that we're going to make a deal on, they've agreed they want to buy oil from the United States.
The president acknowledged China wants to keep buying oil from Iran, propping up their economy, but said Beijing won't give Tehran military equipment and offered help with a deal.
He feels strongly they can't have a nuclear weapon. He said that very strongly. They cannot have a nuclear weapon, and he wants them to open up the strait.
China is Tehran's most powerful ally, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio told NBC's Tom Yamas the president didn't ask for help ending the war.
We're not asking for China's help. We don't need their help.
Secretary Rubio also weighing in on Taiwan, the island's self-governing democracy that China's communist government claims as its own, and that the U.S. sells weapons to deter Chinese aggression.
U.S. policy on the issue of Taiwan